So now that we've talked about some of the requirements, let's dive into, actually optimizing these images and some of the best practices in doing so. So, obviously, I picked some examples here of, things that they may be doing not so well on, and I have other examples of things that they are doing well on, and we can kind of go through these and talk about them. So, obviously, they're not abiding by some of these rules as far as, white backgrounds and things like that. But I also brought up this example, in my opinion, to show you, some other things that they could improve on. So, obviously, this is the main image. This is very important. This is like one of the first things that customers are going to see on your detail page. And obviously you want this image to look very well. You want the angle to, be at a good angle point of view. You want the lighting. You want it to be you want the lighting to be great. You want it to be in focus. You want the image to be high quality, high resolution, and look professional. This main image speaks a lot. Especially nowadays, people are very visual on listings. A lot of times they're looking at images and pictures and not even really reading a lot of the text. So main image is crucial. And so let's take another look at a better example here of what someone is doing well. So obviously you can see the difference here is from aesthetic perspective and how that can really play a role in conversion. I mean, you look at this and it's, a lot more appealing, right? Like this makes me want to buy it more than the other one. So let's go over some things here. Obviously the image, the angle is good, the lighting is good, it's in focus, it's a high quality, high resolution image. Going back to those sizing requirements, at least 1,000 by 1,000 high resolution image. And that's going to give you the option to make it zoomable on the listing as well, which is a nice touch. Especially if you have a product that, someone can zoom in and see specs or specifics on the product or read, things on the label, which is great for supplements and things of that nature with, ingredients and nutrition facts. Highly recommend doing at least 1,000 to get that zoomable feature as well. Also, a high resolution image will make it so when someone does zoom in, it's not blurry. Like they can actually read what's happening and see the product when they do zoom in. All this is speaking to your brand here. So very important to think about these things. And then also, you can, use a regular image, a regular photo of your product. Just make sure again that it's, high resolution, that the lighting is great, that, it's not blurry, all those things. But if you have the option to do a rendered image such as this, that can really be a nice touch. If you have, the label file and things like that, you render it on a bottle and it just oftentimes the quality of the image can look really, really nice compared to just a regular photo. And, obviously, you want the product to take up a lot of this space here as well. So one thing that we like to do is crop our main images. And that way we don't have a lot of white space around the actual product on the image. So the image will oftentimes appear larger on the detail page. And that's also a nice touch from an aesthetics point of view, where you log on to the listing and you see a nice high quality big image right there, versus if you don't crop and you have a lot of white space around your product, this image here could appear quite small, and it might not be as easy to see, and might not pop out as well on the listing to the customer. So that's another tip that I would recommend you do as well. So that's a lot of information about the main images. Um, Also to take into account is the other images on the detail page as well. These are not subject to some of those requirements that we talked about for the main image, such as the white background and things like that. You can get, thankfully, you can get a little more creative with some of these infographic type images on your listing. And I highly, highly recommend that you add these to your listing. Having great main images is awesome, but if that's all you have, you're really missing out on a lot of missed opportunity there. You have, all these other slots to input great infographic images to really sell your product, to portray those benefits and features to the customer. And these are a great way to do that. Again, we usually size these about 2000 by 2000, and we take the copywriting in these infographic images pretty seriously as well. All these are pre-written, and then they will move to design. Again, to really display some of those unique selling points, those benefits, those features, what makes your product different, what makes it stand out, and adding these additional images is a great, great way to do that. Amazon offers you the option to have about 9 or so image slots. So even though they're not all showing here in this default view, you can click on the images. Let's see if they have it. Yeah, and all of them will display in this image view. And so yeah, definitely recommend adding those to your listing. If you have video on your listing, only the first 6 images are going to display in this image view here. So that's something to keep in mind. But I highly recommend you do the video on your listing. And you can do this through Seller Central. You can upload it to a bunch of different ASINs of your choosing if you have brand registry. If you don't have brand registry, they have started letting you upload some videos to your listings, one ASIN at a time. So that's a nice little feature that Amazon has started doing as well. Video can obviously help with conversion and, again, getting those selling points and benefits and features across. And, in addition to showing this through video, also in your images, showing the product in use. How is the product used? And that can be really helpful for people to see before making a buying decision as well. And I would recommend keeping the video like at least, less than a couple minutes long. The people don't want to sit here and watch like a 20-minute video, right? They're making these decisions quickly. You want to pop things out at people and make it short and concise and to the point.